Welcome to Deep Thought. See the big picture. See the big picture. I'm going to tell you what. One of the things that people need to work to do to get through life is to see the big picture, to see everything. You see, people have different perceptions of life. People have different perceptions of life and how they see things. Like some people, they'll see stuff just in their immediate environment. And of course, what they will see is influenced by their beliefs, their personal perceptions. You know, if they believe people behave a certain way, that's all they're going to see. You know, that's all they're going to see. And it's in their immediate environment. But then if you go up to another level, people see what other people see. They see what the group sees, and they adopt that. And they stick within the group. But then the even higher level is to see the entire picture. That's very key to understand. If you can see the entire picture, you see the big picture. Don't just see one part of something, but see everything. Like if you're looking at everything going on in the world. Well, let me use a great example, politics. Politics. And not just recent politics. Like whenever I see, whether it's local, whether it's national, international, whenever someone suggests a bill or something, right? Like in the government, if somebody suggests a bill, my question is, like somebody might see like how that particular bill affects them. And that's all they're concerned with. Like, oh, I'm going to pay more taxes. Oh, I'm going to pay less taxes. Oh, this is going to make something I do regularly hard. All right, that's cool. But then the next person, they see it with the group. What the group sees a particular bill as. All right? And that's cool too. That's cool too. But the big picture, somebody will see the bill. It's okay. They promoting this particular bill. Who benefits from this bill? Who's supporting this bill? Which lobbyist paid some money so this particular representative introduced this bill? All right. How will it impact the environment, the entire environment, and not just the physical environment, but the social environment? Who's winning from this? Who's going to lose from this? What moves are being made because of this? That's the big picture. Like you always got to look at the big picture, or try to see. And here's the thing: when you see the big picture, let's just be real. Some of the stuff you see is going to go against your personal beliefs. But you got to get past that and look for truth. You got to look at everything. You got to say, all right, this is happening, but what's really happening? Because I'm going to tell you what. Because it's a little political. Whatever you see happening politically, publicly, there's always something happening behind closed doors. So you got to look at every little thing. And you got to go beyond what the group wants. The group wants is, the group is always like, whatever benefits them directly. Not that it might benefit them, but hurt somebody else, or it'll cause a greater pain in the future. They just whatever benefits them. And then when it's just the individual perception, your own selfish perception, it's like, okay, whatever benefits you, it either does or it don't. But then the big picture said, okay, well, yeah, this could be painful for now, but long term is a good thing. Or this is happening now, but, somebody else is going to do something. This is something else. Like, let me give another example. Like, when I look at relationships, because I'm known for talking about it, I look at the whole environment. I look at the culture. When I'm looking at how people are interacting, I'm not just looking at, like, a particular individual and say, oh, this person is handsome or this woman's beautiful or something like that. I'm like, okay, where are they at? What's their social class? What environment are they in? What's the long-term effect of this? How is the education system affecting this? How is this touched by religious beliefs? What's the media doing? I look at the whole thing. And, what's the trends? What's happening? And you got to look at stuff, and really, you got to be able to see stuff from both sides of the equation. Because whenever I look at anything, I always look at pros and cons, no matter what. And you need to always look at the pros and cons, not just for yourself, but overall. How does this affect? Like, I'm paying attention, like, let me give an example. OnlyFans. Now, of course, when OnlyFans got big, which it was already there, these stories about a bunch of women primarily, even though there are men on OnlyFans doing the same thing, just showing their body. And some women making money about it, right? Now, I looked at it and I said, okay, it'd be all right for now, but that's only because there's only a few. What happens when there's a bunch of people on there? All of a sudden, people complaining about, you got women complaining they ain't making the same amount of money or barely any money. And it's just like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense because now that market is crowded. See, a lot of people got on there thinking, I'm going to make money. But I'm like, no, it's crowded. Like YouTube. I've seen some people say, yeah, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and make some money. I'm like, well, you got to have something unique about you because you got millions of people probably got YouTube channels. So it's like, all right, because you got to look at that. And you got to look at, okay, how much time do people have? You got to look at that. Then who's advertising with YouTube? So you got to look at that, whether you will make money. You can't just look at one thing. You got to look at the entire picture. That's the thing. You got to see the big picture. You got to look at all angles. You got to see everything. You got to see around corners. People who are into psychic abilities, they'll say, that's something they would say about seers or something. Like they can see around corners. You got to see it around corners, Like if you were to move into a neighborhood or something, first thing I would look at is like, okay, yeah, that's a nice house. What kind of schools are around there? What kind of stores are around there? What the people look like? How they behaving? You got to look at the entire picture. And it's just work on it. See, and the thing is, your perception is actually advanced when you can see everything. When you can see around corners, when you can see from above. It's a very powerful thing. I want y'all to think about that, all right? So, anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to think on it, of course. And I'll get back with y'all next week. Peace and many blessings.